Have you watched any of the Devil May Cry series yet?
No, not yet. I have oh no, I don't know about that one. I'm still on the fence about how I feel about that.
It's all right. It's you know what? The action is there. It's pretty much like it's like the video game itself. The action is there. The story is kind of it's a lot of exposition thus far because I think it's trying to catch up with a lot of people that may not be aware of what this even is. But
Gotcha.
it's cool. It's like a solid like C plus to B minus for me so far. 2 episodes in. It's a little mindless fun.
Let me ask you this then. Did you ever watch the 2007 anime?
I did not.
So the 2007 anime, thanks, man. That's why I was largely kind of like indifferent to it. I was like, because it wasn't a great anime as far as actually I talked about it the other day with some folks, and they reminded me how trash it was, and I was like, oh,
so is
I
it
was like,
like the X-Men, Wolverine, Blade anime level of trash, or like a tier below that or above that?
It was incoherent is the problem. Like, because I even went back and watched a little bit of it, and what I was reminded of is that the first Devil May Cry anime, it felt like Cowboy Bebop in the sense that none of the episodes had anything really one to do with each other. Like, it was just shit was just happening. Like, every episode was like, just some shit that's happening in Dante's life. Like, just whatever. Yeah, like, and it's not to say that I don't think that I would enjoy this one. It's just like, of all the stuff that I have to watch, I was just like it was the thing that I wasn't really thinking about very much. Like, I was like, you know what? I'm more interested in watching. I'm more interested in watching like Ianu or catching up on Yellow Jackets or some shit. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Side note: shout out to Ianu. Tomorrow is the big day for them. Show Drake debuts on Cartoon Network tomorrow.
I actually was kind of pissed because I was talking to oh my god, Cheyenne Iwulu, the woman behind the comic shop joint that was on Kickstarter not too long ago, and she said something that like it kind of blew my mind. She was like, how was it that they didn't reach out to any like Nigerian content creators and influencers to help spread the word about this? Because she was like, I was talking to like all my people, and they were like, this is the first I'm hearing about this.
I think it's just a matter of like them not knowing how to market that stuff best online, because I know that's
you're right,
to kind of help like them get certain people to look at it. Because I think besides you, I don't know of anybody else in my mind that I know in the circle of Black content creators even looked at this. Because I covered it because one, I was at BlerdCon and I talked to the lady that's the marketing for it. I got the first issue of the novel, read it, loved it, did the video like a couple days ago. I know you did something because I think Terrell and the guys asked you about it. So I don't know. Hopefully, I'm praying the show does well, because I hope we get more shows like this. Plus, Cartoon Network's like dropping they're bringing back a bunch of stuff for like regular shows, getting another return. Adventure Time's getting like a couple spinoffs. Foster's Home is getting like a prequel spinoff series,
which is just wild to me. Like, it's like it's all these shows that like I don't know. I feel like everyone's nostalgia is getting mined. Like, hey, y'all remember that old shit? Come on back, we got some more.
It's not even like the old. Well, maybe it is the old shit now. In my mind, it's not that old. But Adventure Time came out like what, almost damn near a decade now at this point, almost maybe.
I'm gonna be honest with you. For as much as I liked the idea of Adventure Time, I didn't fuck with it that heavy. Like a lot of the stuff that people like would go on about, like, oh, like I was here for the memes, but like I wasn't there for like it was the same thing for me in like SpongeBob. Like, I get the memes, but I didn't really like mess with the show like that heavy. Like, I know enough about it that someone tells me a SpongeBob joke, I will giggle.
That was like not my prime Cartoon Network era, but like I would like Adventure Time, Steven Universe recently. I didn't watch Steven Universe when it first aired. 2 years ago, I went back and binged it. And that show at the end got a fucking tear out of me. Like I cried real fucking tears.
Oh yeah, no.
I was like, oh my God, this shit is fucking amazing. I understand why people love it so much. Because for years I thought it was on the uncle grandpa side of things where it was all kiddie. It's not really a lot of narrative there.
Oh,
and I
gotcha.
watched it and I was like, what the fuck is this? Oh my God. Oh God.
Yeah. It depends on the show. Like, cause like I fuck with Craig of the Creek like heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my shit. I'm not the demographic. I'm a grown ass man. I should not be watching Craig of the Creek.
Mm-hmm.
But I fucks with it. And like I don't know. I'm really weird about the shows that grab my attention. Like Steven Universe is a show that grabbed my attention. Regular show grabbed my attention.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what was that? What was it? Kids Next Door? Was that what it was? Yeah. Kids Next Door, that had my attention. Like the stuff that I gravitate towards, there's no rhyme or reason behind it.
Mm-hmm.
But like in the same token, other shows that were out at the same time probably just didn't register for one reason or another. Is usually what it is.
All right. Well, guys, for everybody here, thank you. I know we kind of rambled for a little bit. We were kind of doing the setup and everything, but for people that are here, again, welcome back to the Captain's Lounge. I am Captain Diesel. This is our special guest, our special friend, Mr. Ernie, Blerd Without Fear.
What up?
For everybody watching, remember, forever and always,
you're now watching the Captain.
Yeah, man. Today's gonna be a fun day. Ernie, this is like what your third time on, I think. And I think each time you've been on, we've covered some comic stuff. I think first time was like Blood Hunt and kind of throughout the board. I think you've been on a couple times at this point now. But we are going to continue a little bit of our discussion on Absolute Comics and where Absolute Comics are going. And for people that are here, I've been collecting the fuck out of these things. If y'all know me, I love Green Lantern with a burning passion. More so John Stewart, but I read a lot of Green Lantern shit. So when I saw the art for Absolute Green Lantern and who was writing it, I was like, I need every possible cover. I got 2 foil covers, the first edition of it. Like I went a little insane, I'm not gonna lie. But that being said, this stuff's been dope. Now, before we discuss a little bit about this,
I couldn't let you get away with that.
Oh, you want me to test the chain? Oh, I got my. Don't let me pull the box.
I was like, no, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. I gotta. I was like, I got that Hayden Sherman's. Absolute Wonder Woman variant. Yeah, 125 ratio. You know how we do.
Hey man. I blame this new sickness I have on you. I was reading comics before, but when I was given information about how local comic shops work with pull lists and certain websites I can go to buy them for cheaper, I was like, yeah, the amount of money I've spent on comics this past year has been insane, but I can justify it through content. If I make a video about it, cool. I can say that maybe some money is being made from this thing. I don't know. Unlucky Dreamer.
That's how I do it.
I don't have a burning hate for Hal Jordan. I don't love Hal Jordan. I think I enjoy other Lanterns more. I just don't get the 100% glaze, but no, it is what it is. That being said, I think we should probably start with the best, at least for me, my favorite out of the new trilogy, which the new trilogy they introduced being Absolute Martian Manhunter, Absolute Flash, and Absolute Green Lantern. Like the 3 new editions, 6 now out of the Absolute series that they've been doing. I want to start with Green Lantern because there are a couple things that are interesting here that I feel like, from my reading it for the first time out, and I think the video's getting edited now, but that I thought were kind of callbacks to prior stuff like Blackest Night, and I love the horror theme. You also know me, if y'all watch the channel to any length of time, y'all know I love horror. I've covered a bunch of horror movies. So us getting a sci-fi horror Green Lantern series with a new... Well, that's the first question I have for you. Is his name Journey? I'm tripping. Sojourner is her name, right? The new.
Oh yeah, Sojourner. Yeah, or Joe. I just call her Joe because it's usually what everybody calls her anyway.
Yeah. Is she out? Because she's been. How long has she been around? I don't really recall seeing her too often.
So she was a Young Animal, imprint character. For those who didn't get a chance to check this out, this is N.K. Jemison's Far Sector. She was on this first. And this came out like, man, we're talking like, I think just post-pandemic, maybe.
Oh, that's the same Joe? The glasses? That's the same character?
Yeah. This is the
So
same
I've
character.
seen her before. I didn't know that was the same character. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a an absolute universe version of it. But like what they did was originally when they brought Joe into the fold, he was supposed. The whole point was that he wasn't supposed to be involved in any of like the main stuff because she was in the far sector.
Right.
But since because like her popularity, they moved her over into like the main stuff because like she's now a part of the main Green Lantern Corps book now.
Right.
But they put her in this one. Honestly, I think honestly the reason why she's in this book, let's just be real. Al Ewing likes writing black people. Let's keep it a buck.
Yeah.
Al Ewing ain't never met a black man or woman that he didn't want to write.
So funny enough, I recorded my video covering the first issue, and I found an interview from like a couple months ago where he was talking about like his decision to use Joe, and he was like, "Well, initially I was going to use John, but then I thought about it. In this version of John, he's like pushing 40. He's an old man. He's boring. I'm an old man. I'm boring. I don't want to write a boring story about a boring old man." So it's like, all right, I went through Far Sector. I found Joe, and I thought she'd be cool to use because obviously Hal's going to be in this run. He's really prominent in the first issue. Guy's going to be in this run as well. But he was like, yeah, I wanted to use Joe. I thought there could be fun stories I could tell with her. So he already off top was like, I'm using one of these two black people. Like, what are these two Negroes?
Oh, no. That's why when the announcement was made that they were doing like the all new Venom, they were going to supposedly have a mystery where Luke Cage or Robbie Robertson could have potentially been the new Venom. It was why I kept saying, oh, it's gonna be one of the two brothers, because I was like, Al Ewing ain't ever like if you see Al Ewing writing a white character, nah, he's holding that character for the police, is what he's doing. That may like because I always almost, why do you think y'all see Blue Marvel? So like the little bit we see Blue Marvel is because of Al Ewing. Al Ewing be like, man, I'm gonna put this Negro in something. He's like, I'm gonna put this Negro. What book y'all want me on? Y'all gonna put me on a Spider-Man book? Yeah. Can I use Blue Marvel? Okay, Al. Yeah, you can use Blue Marvel. That's how Al works. He loves writing. He likes writing black characters. I don't know what it is about black folks that but I appreciate him. But yeah, I like the inclusion of Joe because he's right. She's a cool character. Like she is unique among lanterns, not just because of like her ethnicity, but because she in Far Sector, I tell people all the time, I know women like Joe. I know my fair share of Joes. I know my fair share of Joe Mullins. And knowing that Al Ewing can write a character of that magnitude, it just makes me excited because Al's gonna write the shit out of it.
Right.
It's gonna be good. Hopefully. and so far it is. So far it is.
So far,
even though I know there's people mad about it.
So far, I'm enjoying it. The run has been dope to. Well, that's the run. It's one issue, so the issue has been dope to me so far. The first thing I do want to start with is the aspect of the horror aspects of the story. I think, from what I remember, you're a horror fan as well, to an extent at least.
Oh yes, very, very.
How did you feel about like the vibes it seems like they're going off with this story? Because I've noticed like even in the first issue and the first page where they're showing Hal walking through the desert. And again, for people watching this, slight spoilers or probably major spoilers at this point. If you're at this point, I'm starting to get to the point where if you're clicking on a video about something you don't want spoiled, you want it spoiled. So
yeah,
at this point, I don't care.
Honestly, you knew what this was,
right?
You knew what this was. Come on now, stop it.
So the issue
spoiled it.
Right. Spoiler alert, dog. The first issue starts with like Hal walking around the desert, disoriented and shit, and there's what seems to be a ring talking to him. There's like a little white ring, and in my mind, I'm took that as a ring, and he's hiding his hand in his pocket. So all right, cool. ring. Maybe the Green Lantern ring is evil in this story, whatever it may be. But the thing that we get, I'll get to the main thing that I found so interesting in this is we find out near the midway or end of the book that it's not a ring that's fucking with him. It's like this black aura or energy that's around his right hand. And immediately in my mind, oh, he's the Black Hand. He's this version of the Black Hand. Because from what I remember in my video, I talked about like William Hand and Necron and that whole thing from Blackest Night. So that was like my immediate thought. We're gonna get zombies. We're gonna have Hal Jordan be like the Black Hand in this version of the Green Lantern Corps. What was your original thought? I don't know if there's like this one-off book I'm forgetting about, I didn't know about, or I wanted to come to the expert to see if there's something I forgot about.
The Black Hand is kind of where I was thinking, like it. So when I saw it, my initial thoughts were either either the Black Hand or like just Black Lantern shenanigans, like because the way they're doing it, the whole point of the series was supposed to be no power batteries, no traditional Lantern Corps really to speak of,
right
like the way that we would understand it, and no power rings. Like it was supposed to be like, this is supposed to be something like kind of on a fresh take. So when they started doing like the horror element, like I kind of took a little bit of it as like Al Ewing kind of going into his black handbag, but also maybe kind of trying to sneak in like some kind of eldritch because it was giving eldritch horror vibes, like the way that the power was just like it was haunting Hal, like Hal's not having a good time using I don't even want to say using the power, because it's not even like he's really using it, it's using him, or it's just kind of doing whatever it wants to do. Like I don't know. I dug it though. I really dug it. I thought that, I was like, dude, they're cooking. They're cooking with this. I'm here for it.
This is sick. To me, first off, I don't understand. Well, I understand it's writing, so you kind of have to have people do this. But if somebody walks into a diner and you're in a diner just chilling with your homie or your wife, whatever else, and you see this guy acting all delirious, and he says he took part in a massive, like, terroristic attack, and he pulls his hand out of his pocket, why is your first thought, hey, let's antagonize this guy some, let's shoot this guy? That shit was hilarious to me.
I didn't understand it. I didn't really understand it because and I know why it was done, because you want to show the power, but man, I was like, no one in their right mind would mess with this guy. Right. Like it's like not off top. Not off top, but no, I like what they're setting up, because even down to like nothing in this universe as far as the Green Lanterns go feels normal. It doesn't feel like the typical stuff that you would normally expect. It doesn't feel like, oh man, look there, we're on Oa right now. Oh, look at the little big-headed blue guardian people. Oh, they got those. And we're not seeing all that stuff. We're like, when they show you Abin Sur,
that was sick.
I was like,
the Majin Buu Goro thing he had going on, I was like, okay, I'm fucking with it.
I was like, wait a minute, why does he look like he just showed up ready to go like 20 rounds with Goku? Like what like I was like, this ain't your daddy's Abin Sur, okay? Like, this isn't like, so it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder, like, okay, so because this is the absolute universe, you're gonna have counterparts for some of those other characters. I was like, dude, seeing Abin Sur makes me really excited to see what is like what is the Sinestro of this world gonna look like.
Right.
Like what is the Kilowog gonna look like?
And I think the thing also to talk about in regards to this and the absolute universe in general, which is a conversation we had way back when, in regards to taking things that are familiar and twisting them on their head in regards to characters, tendencies. And I think the first thing I noticed with Hal was the aspect of Hal being fearless, how jumping in to help people regardless of what the situation is. And first off, when we get to the scene where this guy drives a motorcycle like 100 miles an hour into a construct and his fucking head explodes. First off, I was
Yes.
like, oh, this is horror. Okay, cool. This is where we're going. But
We going all in.
for Hal to do the Hal thing and immediately jump into action to save this guy or help this guy out, and that being the reason why he's in the situation he's in now, I'm like, okay, that's cool. You used something that's familiar and kept something true to the character, but then flipped it on his head to where now this is the cause of why things are not going that way or where it's leading to a change. I'm like, man, Al Ewing is a genius. Everybody they've had work on an absolute book thus far, I felt like has done a really good job of knowing these characters at their core.
Well, you kind of like, because at the end of the day, you want to tell a different story,
Right.
but you still want these characters to be at least vaguely familiar. And right now, I really can't think of any reason to think that no one's been able to accomplish that. Like, there's probably, if there's any one character I'm kind of like on, yeah, it's just like one. But like this ain't one of them. Like, this ain't one of them. But I'm like, even with that, I'm still like in that camp of, yeah, I'm here for it regardless. Like, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read everything. And there's a good reason why these books are selling the way that they're selling. People want these other takes. Like, people want these other takes. Yeah, like it's the same thing that's going on with Marvel right now. Marvel's going through the same thing. The Ultimate books are just the Ultimate books are killing it. You know, I mean, I think the only Ultimate Marvel book right now that I think isn't like, I won't say from a sales perspective, but I'll say from a critical perspective, the only book I've really seen anyone like be critically down on from the Ultimate Marvel line is Ultimate X-Men, and it's not even because the book's not good. It's because I think a lot of people went into that book expecting it to be like all the rest of the Ultimate Marvel stuff, and all the other Ultimate books are kind of doing this thing where they might not be doing the same thing, but they're doing something cohesive that kind of like interacts with one another. The Ultimate X-Men book is like the only one that's like, nope, we're doing our own other stuff over here. Don't worry about what we're doing over here. And I think that's actually to its credit. But like the absolute stuff, DC's doing the same thing. It's like, no, people are hungry for this stuff. So I say, hey, they're gonna keep doing it. There's going to be another 3. They're going to launch another 3 books. So we may as well just go ahead and accept this stuff. The haters need to just get over themselves.
I'm glad you mentioned the haters, man. You know, I don't get to clip farm too often and rage bait and really just for the most part, I try to stay out of drama. I don't like drama, especially when it comes to this content stuff. Internet beef just usually isn't me. And I don't have internet beef with this particular individual. But there is something, when I was doing some research on titles to use, or maybe sometimes some of the description stuff to kind of help me with my video for the Absolute Green Lantern, I noticed there was a video that popped into my feed that I thought was really interesting. And usually when I see a video like this, I ignore it. I say, you know what, fuck it. It's not for me. I know who's targeted at. I'm leaving it alone. But you know, this day I was like, you know what, fuck it. Why not? Why not just show it on the stream? There is a creator by the name, let me get his name just to make sure people can go see his channel if they would like to see him. GDA to GDA. Yeah, GDA Talks Comics. And he had a video discussing Absolute Green Lantern, and it is titled Woke Nightmare with Black Female Lead from Al Ewing. And it's a 10-minute video. We're just going to react here to a little bit of it and have a little bit of a discussion on the text. This came out 8 months ago too, so this is before any of the Absolute comics dropped. This is just the news of what they were going to do and what he perceived what was going to happen. So let's look at this a little bit here.
DC Comics may be all in, but it looks a lot like they're all in.
You can hear this, right?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay.
On the exact same things they were doing right before the DC All In Initiative, which looked like the Dawn of DC Initiative, which looked like the DC Rebirth Initiative. It's been the same tactics over and over again by the same people over and over again. And this absolute DC universe is going to be a train wreck of epic proportions based on what we're seeing right now. Now, last week, before Comic-Con,
Oh my
Scott Snyder and
God.
Joshua Williamson revealed what was going on with a flip book that they're going to do for this initiative, and then the Absolute Universe birth. They showed a Batman, which looked ridiculous. Chuck Dixon, former writer of Batman, that savaged the costume, said it's one of the worst looking costumes for Batman they've ever seen. And they revealed a Absolute Superman, which is going to be written by Jason Aaron. And my DC office rumors say that they're going to make Superman pansexual, which matches his weird little My Chemical Romance hairdo look that they've given the character. Just an absolute train wreck. And then to add to this, they're going to make another Green Lantern book that nobody's going to want. So already DC's flooding the market with a ton of stuff that's just going to be a disaster. We're going to get into this Green Lantern news in just a moment. All right, my name's John Delarose, everybody. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Join us here. Love to have you.
So off top, just like a minute and 22 into the video, I
already don't like this dude. I already don't like this.
Wait till you hear his logical reasonings for some of this stuff. But first and foremost, the discussion around the design around the characters has me questioning, like, what parts of the internet you are on, for one, which we kind of already know what parts you're on.
Oh, we know.
I find so interesting that like the deciding talking points that this part of the internet wants to have in regards to what they immediately think of when they see this information. Because when I first saw Absolute stuff drop, and they were dropping images of what Batman would look like, what Superman would look like, and what a woman would look like. To this point, I did hear some people critiquing the look of Absolute Batman and him being bulky. A lot of people didn't like the design initially. I loved it. I thought it was badass.
Yeah,
but nobody.
I didn't know
nobody
many people
loved
that
it.
did. Yeah.
Once the first issue came out, though, that narrative completely changed. Once you found out how the suit was practical and everything that you saw in it made sense, because he didn't have the billions of dollars to construct a super bad suit.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, Batman, I'll give you that. To see Superman and see the look he has, and your immediate thought is, oh, pansexuality. That's what we're gonna go with. I'm like, okay, that's interesting there. And in regards to like how certain features emote thought responses to be, this has got to be this. Like, your first thought isn't, oh, his hair, maybe he'll do this, that, or the third. It's his hair, his sexuality has to be this. Why would it be anything else? That's so interesting to me.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why do people get so hung up on the sexuality of aliens? Because in a world, let me take y'all back. I'm gonna show you some age here. In a world where a person is from an alien species, regardless of whether or not they like look human, in that regard, I feel like when you start talking about aliens, sexuality is the least interesting thing about them, because it just isn't. And to be fair, at this point, really nothing in regards to what he thinks about any gender has come up in the book. Like, the people that make these videos, all this rage baiting, half the shit that they're complaining about is stuff that's not a story in the, okay, like, let's, okay, so you talked about Batman, the suit, the practicality of it.
Right.
That was not the narrative that people were focusing on when talking about that, talking about that comic.
Right.
You talk about you talk about Superman, which I would go as far as say is the wokest of all.
Yeah,
of the absolute line, just in terms of the fact that it talks about classism, it talks about the pitfalls of relying on artificial intelligence, it talks about environmentalism, it talks about how people who are in power can know something bad is about to happen, but don't warn the poor people that's going to. Dude, Absolute Superman is literally the wokest comic that is out right now.
Yeah.
Period. Hands down. Ends of story. And it's not even a bad thing, because it's like, it's actually, to me, kind of the thing that keeps it interesting. But his look is not important to that. Like the way he flips his hair, or the darkness of the suit. None of that shit's important. Like none of it is like anything that like is focused on for any length of time whatsoever. But these people will take that one thing and they will turn it into a 10, 15, 25-minute video bitching and moaning about how this is the end of everything. And it's like, it's not, dude. It's really not. Tell me you don't have a creative bone in your body, or that you don't actually read comics without actually telling me. That's what I like when I see this guy. Which can I ask a question? I just want to ask a real quick question about this too. Is this one of those faceless YouTuber like channels? Is he one of those?
It seems like yes. Everything I'm seeing from like he just kind of he pulls up a news article from comicbook.com or something else.
Wait. This right here. Go back to that there was a rogue one. I want to see. I don't want to hear what he has to say, but I think I saw one with Rogue where it looked like he was talking about somebody's trying to simp. I just want to put this out here. Nobody's simping. Tim Seeley is really a freak. He's a certified freak 7 days a week. There's nothing about that. Just like tell me you've never read a Tim Seeley book. Tim Seeley always has freaky fool shit in his books. It's just, I mean, the dude literally made Hack Slash.
In this,
that's the freakiest of freaky fool books.
Boy,
but yeah, no, this guy is a joke. Yeah, this guy's
Mary
a joke.
Jane
I don't
Watson being all new Venom is their worst idea ever. Like anything that is different from the standard norm is the worst thing ever.
Yeah. And here's the thing. And I want to make something very clear. I criticize the Mary Jane all new Venom shit too, but not because it was Mary Jane. I criticized it because I was like, y'all should have just led with that shit. Instead of like trying to hide it behind 4 issues of some bullshit. Y'all, issue 1, it should have been like very clear that it's Mary Jane. Like I don't like in the marketing, it should have been clear that it was Mary Jane. Like I think that was where the story needed to be told. But yeah, these dudes, they're not serious. These are the you know what? I'm gonna be kind. I'm not gonna say the thing I almost said.
You better than me. Cause
Cause
what really killed me, or really like got me wanting to really speak on this stuff is when the Assassin's Creed stuff came out with all the Yasuke drama. Especially now that the game's out. All the news, all the discussion around it was, oh, the game's gonna flop, it's gonna be terrible because all this X, Y, and Z. And then the game comes out. It's the second most successful game in the franchise in regards to financial buying and all that good stuff. And then the pivot goes from it's gonna be terrible to now Yasuke is having a relationship with a non-binary individual, which keep in mind is an option you have. If you go with the because the game has a canon mode where you don't make any decisions, and that nobody romances anybody in that. But when you you had to make the decision to turn that off, go through multiple interactions with this character and choose the romance option and go along with that.
Well, here's the thing. It's the same thing. What was that jackass, Heels versus Babyface, whatever. When he bitched and whined about what was the game? Starfield. He was complaining. Dude, the box that he was talking about, the thing he was complaining about, it was a box that is off by default. Like if you wanted your character to be non-binary, you had to check a box to do it. It was off by default, and he was mad that. And here's the thing: it's not like you have to mess with that box to continue making your character. It's literally a thing you only interact with it if you want to. And he acted a whole monkey about it. That's why I say, dude, these people are not serious. They're not serious. They are not serious. I don't even want to give this motherfucker oxygen, but it was the same thing that was going on with the Ultimates. There was a dude, I forget the dude's name because he's really not anyone important, but like he bitched and whined about the Ultimates because they made the Punisher like they called them the Red Skulls, but they used the Punisher logo and they were Nazis. They were basically like the Proud Boys. Dude got mad because he's like, well, I'm not racist, but then he proceeded to say a lot of racist shit. It was like he was like, well, I'm not racist. I just think that it should be perfectly okay to be proud of being white. Okay. But you don't think anyone else should be. But you don't. Okay, cool. Bet. Okay. All right.
And I get it. The money's there. Like when you grift that hard to that side of things, you're gonna have people that are gonna support you loyally. And that's why like I've been kind of disappointed in certain guys. Like Star Wars Theory back in the day, I watched all his like deep dive lore videos and shit like that. And when all this shit with the Acolyte came out, and I noticed that, oh, he's not outright saying racist shit, but he's allowing racist shit to go down in his chat, or he'll like make little jokes about it or like retweet it. I'm like, oh, so you're doing this for the bag. You're doing this for the bag.
Oh, and now he's just doing it. Period. Now he's just doing it. Period. Now that shit, the mask is off now.
That shit.
The mask
was
is off.
So sad to me. It was so sad to me. Because again, when I started YouTube, I had a list of creators that I like. You're one of them. I looked up to him like, okay, I'm gonna do this, this, and this. Still that, and that. And when I see you grift that hard with a franchise that is supposed to be about aliens and different colors of people and different literally different races, not just sociological race or like ethnic races, but like little genetic race differences in races, I'm like, it's crazy. But, you know,
I'll just say this much. And I just want to let everybody know I'm totally paying attention. I'm just drawing at the same time.
Oh, you're good. You're good. This is what this is for. This is for me to have the chill conversations without having to write a script. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it is. Well, and I just want to make it clear that when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, I don't mess with any of these guys. I don't mess with them. They're not. None of them are people that I think anyone else should mess with. I actually personally like when it comes down to it, like straight up, this is the best practice you can ever have. When you see shit like this, don't click any buttons. This is like sit down, listen to Uncle Ernie's guide to dealing with people like this asshat on that video. If you see them, if you for whatever reason, if you click on the video, because I know the temptation, a lot of people have the temptation to, oh, I'm gonna click the dislike button. No, don't click that. Don't click that, because that's a metric. You're giving them a metric. You engage with the video. Like a lot of people don't know this. You click the like button, you click the dislike button. YouTube does not pay attention to which one you click. You click the button. What you do is you don't click dislike. Don't leave a comment either, because I'm gonna tell you right now, no matter, I know everyone has this idea in their head that, oh, I'm going to be the one who says the thing that's going to make them turn around their whole life. You can't. They're grifters. They are never going to change. I don't care how good your argument is. I don't care how convincing you are. They are not going to fucking listen to you. And even better, don't expect anyone in their audience to listen to you either, because the audience is so cooked that this is the shit that they come there for. And they are going to clown you for thinking that you were going to change their mind. So don't comment either. Here's what you do. You hit Alt, left arrow, or Control W, or whatever. Hit the back button, whatever you got to do. And if you see that video again, or any videos by that creator, and you can only do this on the main homepage of YouTube, click the little 3 dots next to the title of their video, and then click on Do Not Recommend This Channel. That's how you fix that shit. That's how you fix that shit. Don't comment. Do not click a button. Just back out and boop, do not recommend channel. That's all you got to do. It's the easiest shit in the world, because that's what I do. I do it all the time.
Just keep it out of your algorithm. Don't keep it. Man, it's
be gone with them. That's how I deal.
that all being said, because again,
Mhm.
that was the fun there, but I wanted to kind of get back on track. I wanted to have that one mostly
Yeah,
for, I
yeah,
ain't gonna lie, mostly for the clip, because that's gonna be a banger TikTok later on or a short. I ain't gonna lie to you.
yeah.
Hey man, I'm trying to be strategic about
Look
this
it up.
YouTube shit
Look
now.
it up.
I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, I look. I respect it.
But to get into the next issue, this is probably the most interesting one, and I'm not sure in a good or bad way in my yet. I think it has to sit on me some more. But Absolute Martian Manhunter, and I
Oh,
got
I knew that was the one.
yeah, I got two more. I got both I think the A and B covers for it. Um, Obviously, my extent of knowledge on the Martian Manhunter comes from two places. One, back in the day, my granddad got me this DC encyclopedia that kind of gave
Mhm.
like a background on certain characters in almost like an alphabetical order. And it talked about this version that I read was, oh, there's a scientist that found the Martian Manhunter, and then okay, that's how he ended up on Earth and that whole thing. He was the last Martian. Then there
Mhm.
is the aspect of John Jones where he's a Martian and he gets here and he takes the guise of somebody else. And then
Yes.
there's the second person, well, I said two, but it's the third, is the Justice League animated series version where he is coming to Earth, escaping the death of pretty much all his other people of Mars, and he's on Earth now.
Mhm.
This one, again, granted, we haven't really got a lot of information regarding the Martian itself yet, but it's interesting because it seems as though John Jones is a human being that is a detective, a part of the was it stochastic department of the FBI?
Oh,
Stochastic,
stochastic terrorism division.
yeah. And he's in this accident where this terrorist, for lack of a better term, tries to go boom boom in in a building and take a lot of people out with him. And
Mhm.
this guy, John Jones, survives the explosion due to the assistance to what we know now is the Martian Manhunter. And well,
Yes.
correction, the Martian Mindhunter in this, because they call him the Mindhunter.
Or Martian mind fucker.
Either or, because they did blank it out. I did remember that. I
Well,
forgot
yeah,
about that.
that was originally supposed to be the title.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
wow.
actually talked to somebody close to some. It didn't come directly from Dennis Camp, but someone
Yeah.
close to him. I talked to at a con recently. They told me when they initially read it, they said they actually fought to have the title be called Martian Mindfucker. And which is why they snuck it in that latter part where they had everything bleeped out.
Mhm.
But because DC was like, yeah, no, we can't do that. Even with the bleep, they're like, yeah, we can't do that. So yeah, basically, yeah, and that's why when I read the book, I was not surprised that it was as trippy as it was.
Yeah. I think, and again, this version of John is cool. Like I found some of the stuff interesting in regards to this whole like it seems like mental descent he's going down as the book goes on. The thing I found the
Yeah.
most interesting though that in where this differs from traditional ways that we've seen telepathy being kind of introduced is in other versions we've seen characters where like they have some kind of mental telepathy where they'll hear thoughts from everyone and the thoughts can be overwhelming. In this version it's more so like everybody has this chromatic color or smoke that they ooze
Mhm.
off, and this character's breathing it in, and that's how he's reading your thoughts and memories. And also seems kind of wild because it seemed like in one version where he didn't just get the memories of the person, but he had the memories
Yeah.
of the person that interacted with the person. So I'm like, fuck, how strong is this?
Yeah,
Uh
it's pretty wild. Like I like it. Like I like the idea of it. I'm not as crazy about the book itself though.
yeah.
Yeah, it's when we get past that is when I'm kind of like, ugh.
Cause see, in my mind, I had the expectation of like, okay, we're going to get the absolute Justice League at some point. Like it has to happen at some point.
Right.
So I'm looking at, okay, every book we've gotten up until this point follows a similar, I'm not going to say formula because I don't think it's formulaic, but there's a structure in regards to introduce character, what makes them different in the book on some kind of big shocking thing to build towards the future, usually something action oriented or something shocking.
Mhm.
And then boom, we're off to the races and we go deal with that story. And we've gotten everyone thus far up until this one where it seemed like, all right, we're going to play around more with the perspective of this character. And because it seems like the Martian Manhunter isn't a physical construct yet, and it's more so of a mental worm or parasite, I guess, maybe. Like, it's almost like a symbiote, but a mental
That's what
symbiote
it feels
almost.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, so how is he
Oh,
going to relate to the rest of the Justice League when we do get to that point?
it reminds me of the Donny Cates run of Venom, in so much as like where when Eddie and Venom would talk to each other, like how Venom would kind of hover around him or like kind of pop out, kind of like it was actually what they did with the movie. Basically,
Yeah.
he would kind of pop out of the like side, and you see his head kind of like that's what it kind of put me in the mind, the mindset of more or less.
It, again, I love some of the stuff they did with this. Again, I love the aspect of the colors being the thing, that the way they read the mind. I think that's innovative because I can't recall seeing that anywhere else. But I'm just trying to figure out how this fits within the mold, and maybe it's the thing where we issue 2 we get it, or issue 3 maybe 4.
Yeah.
But at some point I'm like, okay, this has to make sense of how this is going to fit in with everything else. Because I'm also, again, in my mind, looking forward to Absolute Justice League and how these characters interact. Because for the most part, I don't know if everybody's realized this, but like the age like discrepancy with the Justice League or everyone you've seen thus far is pretty wide. Like Superman seems like he's what,
Yeah.
like 16 to maybe 19.
He's very young.
Yeah, Batman's early 20s. Wonder Woman seems like she could be mid to late 20s, or maybe couple hundred years old, depending on how time moves in the underworld. Wally West, and this is like 14. I'm
Yeah,
like,
he's like
so
14, 15 years old.
yeah, so them as a team, it's gonna feel like very Young Justice-esque in my opinion, and I'm kind of here for that.
Yeah, no, I like that. Actually, I like that. I like that all the characters are very different. They all have very different personalities, very different ways of tackling situations. The one that like I'm most curious how Martian Manhunter factors in, just because of how weird his book is in comparison to everyone else's. Like, I think that's where the real story for me is gonna lie. Is like, okay, like all these other books, they feel like they belong together.
Yeah.
Like, for as different as they are, for as different as Absolute Wonder Woman is from Absolute Superman, I can see these two existing in the same space. For as weird as Batman's book looks, I can see him existing in the same space. And technically I've seen different artists, you know, and obviously we're going to be getting this soon anyway, because it's already been out there in the wind that there's an absolute crossover coming, where all the characters are going to be interacting with one another. But we've seen key art for it where Batman, and we've seen variants who other people have drawn Absolute Batman, and some of them he looks like Brock Lesnar, and other ones other ones he looks like regular ass Batman, but with the absolute suit on, like he's actually like a normal sized person. So it depends on who's going to be the artist for that. But like all of these things, I can see these characters in the same space. Martian Manhunter is the only one where I'm kind of like, I don't know how this cat would work with everybody else. And who knows? The book will come out and I'll be like, oh, well, it wasn't that hard at all, apparently. But for me, looking at it, like I'm looking at it from a writer's perspective, I'm like, I don't know how I put this motherfucker in the same room with these other folks, and it actually makes some damn sense. But I applaud anybody who can.
Right. I'm excited to see what it looks like. And going into the final book in the trio that came out. Oh my god, where did I put this shit at? I had it right here. Now I'm tripping. There it is.
I do that shit too sometimes.
Flash. Like, I was sitting right here. I was looking dead at it like 2 minutes ago. Absolute Flash is one that I think a lot of people were excited for, myself included, because I was so interested to see what the spin was going to be, and also what Flash they were going to choose, because we can go Jay Garrick, Wally, Barry, whatever it may be. And Wally's always been my favorite, again, because of the bias I have with the Justice League animated series. Wally being there. So I kind of always have this love for Wally. And the fact that they're doing a couple things that I love here, some that I personally resonate with, being like part of, not a military brat per se, but like military brat adjacent, because my granddad was military. I moved around like a little bit as a baby, so I didn't get the full brunt of it. But the aspect of him being a military brat and him moving around and that whole aspect, and that playing into the fact that a lot of his rogues gallery are Captain Boomerang, Captain like Mirror Master. I'm like, okay, so it makes sense they can be part of the military or some kind of special task force, and it makes sense why he's
Mhm.
going against these people now and why they have the names they have. Like it feels like the Absolute Universe is kind of doing similar to what the Christopher Nolan stuff did with Batman, where everything is a lot more not ground level per se, but it makes more sense how it could be based in reality. How does it make sense in a more realistic standpoint?
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with that. If anything, if there's it like for me, what it was, and I'm kind of with you, not for the exact same reasons. Um, for me, for as much as I like Barry Allen, uh, I remember a hard lesson I had to learn
Mhm.
as I got older was that, well, I enjoy Barry Allen. He was never my Flash
Mhm.
because when I was reading Flash, it was like 1985, 1986, 87, and Barry was dead. The Flash I was reading was Wally West. I just didn't pay it any attention because I watched
Mhm.
the TV show Flash. I was like, oh, that's Barry Allen. So it's got to be Barry in these books. And went on about my business. And it wasn't like, well, I was like, oh, wait, actually, yeah, yeah, dude, duh. Yeah, they keep calling this guy. I was like, why do they keep calling Barry Wally? I don't know what this is all about. Uh, but as I got older, I was like, oh, duh, because his name's Wally. That's why.
Right,
That's why
right.
they call him Wally. But like, yeah, as I got older, I was like, okay, I get it. So yeah, Wally has always been my Flash. And I was glad that they didn't try to age him up
Yeah.
or try to they didn't I mean, honestly, they even kept his origin relatively similar, except
Mm.
for the fact that in this universe, there is not already a Flash. Like that's the main difference is that there's not like is he hanging out with Barry when it happens? Yes. Is Barry Flash? Far as we know, no.
See, I question that because when they found, at least when they showed his corpse, it looked like I had a Flash suit on, but I wasn't sure if that was like
Yeah,
a testing suit, almost like what they did with the Fantastic Four thing, where it was like their
I
suit
think it
was
was a little
the
bit of both.
yeah.
I mean I don't think you're wrong. I like because okay. So and I'm gonna tell you why. I challenge everybody. Go look at the title of the issue. The title of the issue, I think, will answer that question. I think you're not wrong.
Mm.
I think you are far closer to being right than being wrong. Because the title of that issue is, I think it's called The Flash of Two Worlds or something close to that. I forget the exact title, but it's supposed to be a play on when Jay Garrick and Barry Allen met for the first time.
Right, right.
The Flash of Two Worlds. So I think Barry probably is Flash. And instead of like actually dying the way that like, because you get to the end of the issue, it looks like he got clapped.
Right, 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 right.
But they also did the same thing in Crisis on Infinite Earths. And then you find out later Barry wasn't actually dead. You're like, oh, no. Barry wasn't dead. He was just in the time stream. Why he left a corpse behind?
No idea.
I get, yeah,
I
Barry,
think
he's such a kidder.
such a kidder is fucking insane. What is he, dead
Yeah,
body?
Barry is. He's always joking.
I think the other interesting thing here that maybe again this is my interpretation of it, where
Mhm.
we're seeing Wally jump frontwards and backwards in time, and
Mhm.
I can't make sense of if he is either one literally like going back and forth in time, or if this is one of those scenarios to where he's almost like a nexus being and he is simultaneously in multiple parts of the timeline at one time and like reliving the thing while he's there and like kind of
Oh
seeing another
yeah.
version of himself. If that's the case, I think that'd be so fucking interesting to see in regards to how you tell that story and how you use them going
Mhm.
forward. Because if there are literally two Barrys existing at the same time and they're both seeing each other's memories and perspectives of stuff, I'm like, okay, there's a lot of cool writing you can do there in regards to how you do that. Maybe he fails in one instance or he sees how he can learn from I don't know. I don't know how you do it, but that could be so cool and how they do this. Because it's dope to see.
there's a lot of potential there. And also with, and now I want to go back to what I said earlier about the title being, because the title is, Of Two Worlds. That could also be a play on the fact that Mirror Master is in this.
It is true.
And Mirror Master has his own little, mirror world shit going on. Or I don't know how they're going to do it in this universe. But I like the fact that everything is the same, sort of, but it's also different, sort of. Like, we're getting to know way more about Wally earlier than what we ever got in the original comics. Like, even back in the day when Wally was a thing, you knew who he was. You didn't really know a whole heap of a lot about his home life or, what his dad did. I mean, you kind of vaguely knew, but they never really went into it. Like, when Wally, like, I even went back and looked. When Wally first shows up, he's just like, hey, what's up, Mr. Allen? Gosh, golly, you Willikers, what are you doing? You're just hanging out. And then all of a sudden, lightning comes out. It's like, oh, wow, this is so crazy. This is so wild that lightning struck twice in the same place. Isn't that weird?
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't it crazy that the exact same thing that happened to me happened to somebody else? What are the odds? That's basically how Wally kind of came into the play, but they do it differently. They kind of make Barry Allen the elder statesman again for Wally, but at the same time, immediately take him out of the picture, so he's not there to mentor Wally through this. And it seems like this version of the Speed Force, kind of similar to how Absolute Green Lantern is, where it's kind of like there's this, at least in terms of what Hal was dealing with, it was like it's very darker, more foreboding, more uneasy kind of vibes on it. When you look at what he's going through, Wally in this issue, you're like, dude, it was like he is going through, like, okay, first off, your mama dead,
you have no friends,
you ain't got no friends, you ain't got no homies, and I'm not trying to be dismissive here, but I mean, he ain't got no lady friends that we know of.
Like,
so like, he's 15, he's struggling right now. Like I'm looking at this kid and I'm like, man, god damn, man, I wouldn't let that shit happen to me though. That's kind of how I am with it. That's how I am with it. But like, this guy, he's out here struggling, and then your daddy don't fuck with you like that. And it's like, dude, like this, and now he's got to be the Flash,
bro. And it's going to be so interesting how this plays out. And I think the fact he doesn't have a mentor, I think that's the thing I liked about all of the Absolute stuff so far, outside of Wonder Woman, obviously, none of them have had any kind of mentor to show them the way. It's just a lot of trial and error, especially with Batman. We're seeing him like fuck up a bunch of times and figure that shit out. I'm like, all right, this is dope.
Like Alfred has only just now gotten in this man's life.
Like, plot armor has been little to none so far. I've seen, like, hey, when you get the chance to fuck up, they're letting you fuck up.
Oh, no, I loved it because so Absolute Batman has caught hands. I don't want to say once an issue, but at least every other issue so far. I think there's been 6 so far that I can talk about. All of them, like, I think with the exception of 2 issues, we have seen that man catch hands. In some way, shape, form, or fashion, he done got his ass beat. Like, even when he stunts on everybody else, he gets his ass beat.
And the funny thing is,
that's wild to me.
The crazy thing is, Absolute Bane is on the way.
Dude. And here's the thing.
Him up. Oh my god.
I loved how everybody was tripping off Absolute Bane, and they were like, "Oh man, his head is so small. That's so weird." I was like, "Okay, first off, I said y'all are focusing on the wrong shit. Look at how big his hands are, and look at how little them guns on his waist are." I was like, "He ain't shooting those. He throwing them." He's like throwing them. He's got to be throwing. There's no way he's shooting that. You look at Absolute Wonder Woman. Yeah, she's the only one who has a mentor, and even in that instance, it's kind of like one of those mentor who is just kind of letting Wonder Woman do whatever she does, like, for the most part. Like, we don't really know the skinny just yet on why. Like, we know well, we know why Cersei has not been around, but we don't know the story behind why she has like why she's not been around. But like even for her, even Wonder Woman, she messes up sometimes too. She's not infallible, but like it's almost like they gave the Batman like prep time to her, but they didn't give her all of it. She got like she got the $5 DLC. She didn't get the $10 deals. Like she got the deluxe edition. She didn't get the ultimate edition of the prep time. So but I like that better because it allows Wonder Woman to be a badass, but not make it seem like she's, well, I just don't ever lose. It's never like that. And like Absolute Superman, dude, Absolute Superman gets served. He gets served every now and again. And it's just like, I like to see this.
Spawn Man? Like Spawn Man is getting fucked up here. I don't understand it.
Right? Like like we have seen this cat get laid down a couple of times. I'm like, all right, let's go. Like, I like a super. Like, now I will say there's one flag on the play for me with Absolute Superman in regards of the advertising, and I say this all the time. Don't tell me what the setup is and then go against it. Now, and what I mean by that is they said, oh, this is going to be a Superman who doesn't have a Ma and Pa Kent. The lies they told. The lies.
Because we're going directly into that shit. Immediately into it. I'm like, oh, he's going home? Like, okay. Where's home? Well,
like,
okay, so what we don't know yet is what could, because they, for the most part, have, they didn't really ever really confirmed that like everybody else died when they escaped. I don't think.
Yeah, maybe it's that's the idea.
I think the surprising reveal could be like, oh, his parents made it and they took on different identities as Ma, Pa, Kent there, whatever. I don't know. Maybe. I think that'd be a cool twist on it, but I'm really excited to see what his youth looked like and how that happens.
Well, what they gave us was basically like he has interacted. He has interacted with the with Martha and John Kent.
Mm-hmm.
But in this universe, it's not like he spent his entire childhood with him. Right. Like he spent like his height. It's like he had 2 weeks with the motherfuckers. So it's like he really wasn't, or like at least that's like as far as we could tell, he only had about a couple of weeks with him. That at least that's the way they kind of frame it. But so I'm willing to let that go. But like, yeah, that's the one, to me, that's the one flag on the play with Absolute Superman. But like everything else, I'm like, dude, like the Absolute universe is lit, man. I like the people that are hating on this shit. You just don't like fun. You just don't like fun. Bro. Like that's all I can. That's it. There's nothing else. Like I can't even add anything to that. Like you just don't like fun.
That's why I'm investing so much in these comic issues, because I think for the most part, when you're a collector, you're like, this could be the new thing, and this could be worth some money later down the line, or this could be that. I wholeheartedly believe this Absolute shit is about to blow up, and this is about to be like Ultimate Spider-Man in like the next 10 to 15 years, where we're about to have issues, like the first issue of Absolute Batman is going to be worth a couple $100 possibly in like 20, 30 years. I don't know. The way these are selling out, the way the dialogue around these has been talked, the way these things have been discussed, especially if the grifters are talking about that shit, if they care about it enough, it's going to be in the media cycle. So I'm like, yeah, let me invest in a couple. Let me get these foil editions out of here real quick. Let me get these foil covers real quick.
And here's what I'm gonna tell people. If you really want to, like if you're one of those people that wants to get in on like the speculation market, Absolute sells out so fast that this right here, that Wonder Woman I was showing, this ain't even a first print.
Oh damn.
This is a fourth print. This is a fourth print of Absolute Wonder Woman. As a matter of fact, yeah, like Batman. A lot of the Batman books, like
that shit sold out quick in my LCS.
Oh no! You're not. If that's not in your pull box, you're not getting it. You ain't getting it.
I had to wait
You
like
ain't.
3 weeks for issue 3 to get pulled for me. I was like, damn, did y'all fuck? I guess it's like the guy that usually pulls my stuff fucked up and didn't pull 3 for me. And I came to get it. He was like, oh, we ain't got it, big dog. I'm like, God damn it, bro.
Oh man. Hey, and here's the thing. I don't know what to tell people, but it's way easier for these people to make videos shitting on the state of the comic industry as opposed to talking about the W's. Like, okay, look, I get it. There's lots of comics that come out that I don't give two shits about. Lots of them. There's plenty of books I don't care about. I don't talk about them. I ain't got time. I don't have the oxygen or the energy. I'd rather spend my time talking about the books I do enjoy. And this is why I always ask these people, and this is why I actually challenge people. If you ever interact with these people, ask them, what books do you like? Like, what do you enjoy? What do you enjoy? Because all I hear is what you hate. You only talk about what you hate. So what do you like? Do you like anything? And honestly, when you tell me what you like, that tells me a lot more about whether or not this is all bullshit. Because like, if I ask and you start telling me, oh, I really like ISOM. Okay. That's cope, because ISOM is terrible. Even other grifters hate that book.
Jesus.
Even the other chuds. Like, I have literally heard, man, it's a thing of beauty. I have literally heard some of Young Ripa's own contemporaries shit on that book while he was in the room. Or wait till he leaves and then shit on it openly.
That is insane. That is tough. That's tough.
So yeah, I'm just putting that out there. I mean, let's be real. It is a terrible book. But, however, what I think is important, what I think is actually more important is, yeah, I think we should really be, focusing on the W's. I think the W's are way more important than the than whether or not XYZ book sold a bajillion copies. Because I'll be honest with you, the best books don't always sell that well.
Mm-hmm.
The best books don't always sell that well. So I think, it's not to say, we shouldn't be, celebrating those W's, but I think people really need to stop putting as much weight on, oh, well, the book sold a bajillion copies. Okay. Or it didn't sell a bajillion copies. Okay. I mean, the only thing I'm worried about now is that I'm not going to get another book.
Right.
That like that's what I'm worried about. Like, if you hear me say, man, Absolute Green Lantern wasn't selling like these other books, that's not me shitting on it. That's me being concerned.
Because we haven't seen a static solo book in how long?
Oh man, and that's actually for a couple of reasons. One of which I'm not allowed to say anything about.
Wow. So I won't let you incriminate yourself then.
I'll tell you off camera. I'll tell you off camera. But no, the thing is that even for even for static, which I think the last one was Shadow of Dakota, which I was like, dude, after that, y'all ain't gonna follow that up. I was like, y'all had some heat. Y'all ain't trying to do nothing with this. And it's, I mean, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. People need to support these books. I can't give you the sales numbers on Milestone Media books, but I can tell you this. I think people were putting it in their pull box, but I don't think enough people were putting it in their pull box. I'll put it like that. I'll put it like that. And I think once people get their act together, because I think people just expect, because I see this all the time. I see it all the time. I will see it never fails. I encounter someone, whether it's in my live streams or in my comment sections on videos, there's always like at least 5 or 6 people who are like, I'll just wait till they come out with something else. Like, wait, you said you wanted Milestone back. I'll just wait. I'm gonna let it stack up.
Stack up is crazy.
Yeah.
It's a fucking Netflix show.
Look, wait a minute. And then when the book gets canceled, they're like, oh man, why did they cancel it? Because you didn't buy it. You waited for it to stack up. That's why. Like, I always like to use the movie Dread as an example. I know so many people.
The Stallone one or the?
No. The Carl Urban joint.
Yeah.
The Carl Urban joint. I know way too many people. Way too many people who waited for that shit to come to video before they decided they wanted to watch it. And then when it came out on video, they still, like, because they waited, they forgot about it. So they didn't buy it when it was initially on video. They waited till that shit had been on video for like a while and then bought it. And then would come to me being like, man, why didn't they make another one of these? Because you just found, I was like, this movie came out when? And you just now buying it like 2020 something? That's why. I was like, that's why they didn't make any more. I said that, and so that's why I always tell people, if you like some shit, go fucking support it. So that way you get more of it. Don't be one of those people waiting on the side. Like, I know not. I don't want to try and I know everybody's money situation is different. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of comics that I would not be reading if I didn't have press or whatever privileges to see some of the stuff early. There's a lot of books that I get to read by virtue of the fact that they get sent to me. So trust me, if anyone understands, it's me.
Right.
I'm right there with y'all. But that said, you should still, when you can, put your money where your mouth is. Because none of these books are promised. None of these books are promised at all, by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
Unless you're Amazing Spider-Man or X-Men. And even X-Men, even that's not promised anymore. Marvel just canceled 3 X books.
Damn.
Send them to the Shadow Realm. They said, yeah, no, ain't nobody buying this shit.
Throw it out. Plug it. Ultimate Wolverine just have to do for you right now. You have to get that.
Hey, and look, I'm telling y'all, if you like it, don't sleep on it. Because if you sleep on it, that shit ain't gonna be there.
On that note,
next time on Dragon Ball Z.
For the things that we have coming up, y'all, on the channel, obviously, like I mentioned before, my absolute Green Lantern video where I kind of give my thoughts on the first issue will be out hopefully tomorrow. And then I have another video discussing a anime that's gonna be coming out this summer, Gakachi Kuda, I think. I'm sorry. I've been so bad with pronunciations of shit the last like week. I've been recording videos and I've been feeling horrible about it. I watched fucking The Woman in the Yard and was trying to read like the cast names, and I was like, oh my fucking god, I'm gonna sound. It was bad. But that being said, yeah, you can expect those two. And there is a potential big project coming along for like the last 2 years, damn near. I've been working on my first comic book that I've written 100% myself. That is near done. I need to just really sit down for a couple hours and like pound it out and finish that up, and then look for artists at that point. So there's a potential you guys will get to see that hopefully within the next few weeks. Once I get some stuff figured out with that, potentially. I say weeks, but it may be months. But I just have to find the time. Now that I'm doing like the channel's doing well, I'm like, oh shit, how do I balance out me reading and writing shit for a script and then me actually doing this creative shit on the side? I gotta time balance a little bit better than that. But those are what you guys can expect from me for the immediate future. Sir Blerd, what can the people expect from you in the near future?
Oh man. Well, it's funny you say that. Well, there is a you speak of videos. Well, I do live streams every Saturday, so Thursday and Saturday actually. So, you can always tune in for those. Blur Cave 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, Nerds of Culture 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And as far as like the near and as far as like the immediate future stuff, I do plan to hopefully have a comic out within the next few months as well. I
Gotta read that.
It's been a long road to hoe, man. It's been it's basically what it is, because I'm gonna be hoeing this book out when it comes out. But no, I got a couple of irons in the fire. One that I am only writing, and one that I am writing and drawing. So happy fun times there. But it's gonna be good. I think I know it's gonna be good because I have a lot of faith in it. And one of those, the first book, is one I'm gonna be working on with my homie Quinn McGowan. We'll be doing that one. It's gonna be a kind of a supernatural horror noir type story in the dirty South. And then I have another one that's gonna be kind of more of a, like, basically the way I kind of pitched it is it's Mayor of Kingstown, but also, like, if Mayor of Kingstown took place in the dirty South and the main character was black. There you go. That's basically it. And then the other one is more of a traditional, like, superhero team book. And all black X-Men, if you will. So there's that. That one is further out because I'm doing all the work for that one. And I, like yourself, have difficulty putting time aside.
Yeah. It's been real bad for me after I have because I had a Power Ranger video pop way back in the day, and I wasn't monetized at that point. Now that I was monetized and I had a video pop for my first 100K, and I saw what that money looked like, I was like, ooh, ooh.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
I can get another script done real quick. I can work out. I can get a video done.
I mean,
it's becoming an addiction at this point. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be like, man, I'm tired. I need to take a break. I take a nap. 2 more videos. Let's knock it out right now.
Like, no, we got this. It's like, nah, man. Look, let me keep it a buck with you. Don't chase that dragon.
Oh, man.
Don't do it. Don't chase it.
Oh, man.
I only say that as someone who tried. And while I've had my own successes, I can definitely say it's a never ending. It's a never ending mission, and it's like, no, just one more. No, okay, no, this time for real, one more, and yeah, and then I would still be here.
Yeah.
But no,
I'm trying to get better about it, but it's yeah. Oh, long term. This is probably going to be a couple months in the making, but I'm doing, for lack of a better term, a documentary on Cartoon Network and the golden age, and what may be the golden age, and kind of just break it down in general. I think the main studio closed down here in Atlanta, and that kind of prompted me to think about Cartoon Network as a platform over the years from my life and past generations as well. So it's going to be something I'm starting to build the resilience of a team, and we're all going to kind of break down and gather some information, do some research, and kind of get that video out. But that's going to be a couple months out because it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of research, and I want that one to be something I take a lot of pride and care in developing. Probably don't need to be doing this many fucking things at one time, but why not? Fuck it.
I mean, look, hey, I say, hey, if it keeps you busy, yeah, I can't hate on that. So I can't hate on that.
Yeah, everybody watching, again, this has been the Captain's Lounge. If you guys would like to find this, you can find this in audio form over on Spotify, and then here, like regular on YouTube. These are, again, where I like to bring up dope people and have dope conversations about whatever else, unscripted, unprompted, and we kind of just kick it. Again, it's content I can get out when I feel like being lazy and promotes good conversation, and then it's really, really great to clip. Oh my god! Now that I got a full-time editor, I'm like, hey, bro, I got you some shit. Go ahead, do your thing, man.
Like, go ahead, let it rip.
It's beautiful. But again, to everybody, this has been Ernie Blerd Without Fear, Captain Diesel of Captain Diesel's Dojo. And remember, forever and always,
You're now watching the Captain.
and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.